Very good evening, everyone. This is Rajendran here joining from Market Calls, and welcome everyone to Seasonality Trading Systems. So this is a beginner level Amibroker coding tutorial where I'm going to explain some of the very simple seasonal systems which do exist in the markets, which is widely published across the research journals also. It's a very well-known trading system, but very simple, but kind of a calendar anomalies is what I'm going to talk about in today's case. So before getting into the session, just give me a quick confirmation about the audio and video quality. I hope the audio and video quality is good. All right, great. Thanks Ram and Neeraj for the confirmation. So without any further delay, let me quickly kickstart with the session here. Now in today's session, right, we're going to talk about seasonality. When talking about seasonality is nothing much about repeated seasonal patterns, which repeats over a period of time. Time is a major component over here when talking about seasonality trading systems. A lot of seasonal trading systems are available, right? So particularly one of the most important seasonal trading systems are like day of the week effect, turn of the month effect, semi-monthly seasonality, time of the day seasonality, Santa Claus rally, and the January effect is there, and seasonal monthly return percentage is there. And other than that, sell in May and go away. So those kind of systems are there. Some of them are non-workable systems. So we are not going to focus on those things, that sell in May and go away kind of thing. We're not focused on that. Rather, some of the powerful trading system that you need to know about it, that explains in another way about the characteristic of the markets as well. So first, there are two important systems I'm going to talk about, that day of the week effect and turn of the month effect. And along with that, out of this, I'm also going to talk about the seasonal monthly return percentage. So these are not exactly intraday trading systems or something like that, but it gives you at least a fair understanding. If you are a trader in the markets, the simple knowledge will get you better idea about what you should do during those timings, what to do and what to expect, what not to do, because it has a very repetitive odds. The first thing is like day of the week effort is what I'm going to talk about over here. So day of the week effect is also known as a Monday effect, right? So what do I mean by Monday effect is like somehow Monday is likely to be one of the, most of the time, Monday is one of the days where stock perform worse than any other days. Comparatively, some of the investors are bearish, mostly on Mondays. So this is what I'm going to prove using Amibroker, using some simple coding stuff I'm going to prove. So day of the week effect, like why Monday is mostly bearish most of the time is what I'm going to explain. Of course, I'm not talking about current Monday. Current Monday could be something different is likely to happen. Almost all the, I don't know, maybe we have to check on Monday whether it's going to be there true or not, because the markets are at all-time high, and US markets also hitting an all-time high. Last Friday, we have a Jackson Hole meet, and then almost all the markets are totally bullish. But then statistically, I'm going to talk about that, why Monday is so bearish most of the times. I'm not going to go and explain with reasons, but I'm going to show you how to understand that, why Monday is bearish compared to any other day. I'm going to check the monthly return. I'm going to check the return on Mondays. I'm going to check the average return on Mondays. So in order to do that, I'm going to start with Amibroker. Here is Amibroker. And I'm going to switch to a end of the day database. So I'm having index EOD database. This contains purely world indices and Indian indices. I'm going to take the ns.nsei. .nsei is nothing but Nifty index. Nifty daily index over here. I'm using a latest version. So I'm using Amibroker 6.39.1. 6.39.1. Now, how I'm going to figure out, I'm going to collect all the Monday return. Not only the Monday's return, I'm also going to collect the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, all the returns I'm going to collect. And I'm going to come to a conclusion by looking into the data points. Now, on top of this, first of all, I need to prepare a trading rule. I will say like file, go to file, new formula. Here it supports a function called day of the week. Day of week. So day of week is a function. Last week we learned what is a function is all about, right? So using this function, we can determine what day it is, the candle, what are the candle formation it is. We'll get to know what day that particular candle is formed related to. Is it whether it's a Monday or a Tuesday or a Wednesday. So if in case if I want to know more about the day of the week function, I can use function F1. Automatically, I place my cursor on top of that. I press function F1. Automatically, the AFL reference code opens up. Here you can see that 0 corresponds to Sunday, 1 corresponds to Monday, and it keeps on going on and on and on. So what I want to know is whether if it is a Monday or not. I have to check day of week equals 1. That means what? I'm just checking whether the day of the week of that particular candle. I'm going to check each and every candle. I'm going to check each and every candle. I'm going to check is that particular candle is belong to the Monday or not. If in that case it becomes true, then that's the Monday. I'm going to calculate the returns. Okay. So think about that. I'm going to print the Monday returns. First of all, I'm going to print only the Monday return. So I'm going to use the blank module. I'm going to say Monday effect. Monday effect. Is it true or not? With that, we're going to validate. Since 2000 onwards, we're going to validate for the last 21 years. So we'll start with filter equal to 1. I'm going to filter only Nifty symbol. I'm going to allow all the data points in Nifty. So what I'm trying to do is I'm going to run exploration, no filter conditions. As of now, I'm not using any filter condition, no filter conditions. So actually the filter is a rule. We'll be using a condition. We can write a condition over here to filter stocks. Now, as of now, I'm not going to filter any stock. I'm going to run only on Nifty only. I'm going to run it across all the dates. Now I'm going to add a column. I'm going to add a column and then I'll say like add column, and I'm going to say if day of week equals 1, and that means what? I'm just checking, is it Monday? If it is Monday, then I want to calculate the return. So how we can calculate 1 day return only on Monday. So we use a simple function called ROC, rate of change. Using the rate of change function, we can calculate the return, 1 day return or 2 day return or 3 day return. I want to say like close of the candle, comma 1. So that means it will check the rate of change between today's close and the previous bar close, 1 bar back close. If I say ROC of close comma 2, that means what? 2 day back, 2 day returns we can able to calculate. So I'm just calculating the 1 day return. That is only if it is Monday, I calculate the Monday return. That's what I'm just giving an instruction over here. Else, don't do anything. I just simply want to print null. Null means nothing, not even 0. So I'll say like Monday returns. Monday return percentage, comma 1.2. I'll say like a color black and color orange. So here the format 1.2 represents what? 1 followed by 2 decimals. And comma foreground color, I want to put the font color as color black. And background color as color white. All right, so let me save the code. I'll save the code under file save as. I'm going to create a folder name, Ami seasonality. Okay. So here I want to say like Monday effect. Monday effect. So there is a send to analysis option is there. I'm sending it to analysis. Okay, and just I'm going to select current as the symbol. So that means it will select the Nifty symbol. So NSCI, .NSCI in my case, it is the symbol. I am using the data feed from Refinitiv. So Refinitiv is an earlier Thomson Reuters was providing this data. Now this has been taken over by Refinitiv. So I selected current. That means I'm going to scan only on NSCI. I want to scan only from 2000 onwards. That means last 21 years, I'm going to scan the data till to date. And I want to scan on the daily time frame. So I'll go to the settings. I'll select as daily time frame. And I press explore. Now you could see that the monthly returns are happening over here. Every month, the returns are happening. Every day, the activity is happening, but then only monthly returns is what I'm just getting over here. Every Monday. Last Monday, the returns are like 0.28%. So every Monday, we are getting this returns. Now, I also want to compare I want to compare Monday's return with other returns as well. I want to get the Tuesday returns, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday returns. So it's pretty easy. I'm going to say like 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Day of the week, if it is 2, that means I'm just looking for whether it is a Tuesday or not. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and Friday. Every day, I'm just going to get the returns. I'm going to give a label saying like this is Tuesday's returns. Tuesday return percentage. This is Wednesday return percentage. Thursday return percentage, and absolutely Friday return percentage. So obviously maybe I'll try to give some different color here, orange. So that's a very simple code to determine returns on each and every week. We're going to explore those things. You can see this is Monday return, Tuesday return, Wednesday return, Thursday return, and Friday return for all the days, right from 2002 till to date. Almost 21 years of data. Each and every days of data I'm getting over here. So you can see that there is a gap is here. That means it could be a holiday. That's the reason it is not having any specific data point on that zone, which is fine. Now, what I want is an average returns is what I want. How do I get average returns? Average return of Monday, average return of Tuesday, average return of Wednesday, average return of Thursday, and average return of Friday. It is very easiest to do that and very simple to do that also. So how we can do that? Very simple, adding just only one line over here. I'm going to add summary rows. Add summary row. It's a very simple function. Maybe you may not be heard about that. It's very recently added. So I think last 3-4 years back it had added over here. I want to say like here I want to use a type as 2. Now what is 2 over here? I can simply go to function F1. I'll get to know about that. The 2 is nothing but add average row. It will try to average the row and then it gives you. So maybe you would have seen in Excel. Let me pull up in Excel. So Excel, if you could have seen such kind of things, Excel do provide by default. Something very similar to that. Let's say I'll go and open the Excel. I'll get some values over here, 10, then 20, and then 30, and then 40. I'll put some random values. So if I select all the cells, now you'll be able to see that average, count, sum. Likewise, so these are nothing but what? This, for the selected value, you are able to get the count, average, and sum. Something very similar to that, what Amibroker also offers, right? So in this particular case, let's say if I go to add summary, I'll say function F1. Here I can get the total value of the entire row. I can add the average row, minimum value, maximum value. I can add the count of the row. I can add the standard deviation of the row. Or I can add multiple rows also. Right? So in my case, I want only two only. I want only the average row only. Each and every row's average I want with the 1.2 format. 1.2 means number followed by 2 decimals. It is adjusted to 2 decimals. That's what it means. So now I'll save it and then explore it. You could see that on an average, right? So the average returns generated on Mondays. Remember, average return generated on Mondays. After all the, you sum up all the returns and divided by the total number of month that you're having. It generates more of what? It generates more of a negative return over here. You can see that the rest all the days, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, everything is positive. If I could take only Monday, if I could say like day of the week equals 1, if only the day of the week is equals 1, I'll explore. Now you can see that the monthly average return is only 0.01% only. Sum of all the returns, which is like I add all the sum in total. How many rows I'm having? 1073 rows is what I'm having, I think. Say, I can also do the same thing in over here as well. So if I select everything, entire rows, you could see that the average is 0.0051%. That's what it is. So obviously it is rounding off to 0.01. It's because we are doing it so. 0.01%. However, if I do it for all the month, you can see that which one is generating more returns. So on an average, Monday or somehow it is bearish most of the times. And this is not only happening in Indian market, it is happening in across all the markets. Most of the Mondays turns out to be generating more bearishness. Right? So yeah, maybe 1 or 2 Mondays, it can generate positive returns. But majority of the time, let's see what happened last Friday. Last Friday, it was continuously, it was positive numbers. So we are not talking about how many percentage it is positive. What we are saying is like many big losses are happening in Monday. That's the reason. So you can see that this 1% and 0.2%, it is compensating all these returns which got generated. So most of the big losses are happening on Mondays compared to any other days. That's what my point here is. I hope you are able to understand what I'm trying to say here. So what I mean by return on Monday is like, let's say Friday evening you are buying and Monday closing, you are closing your position. That's what Monday return is all about. Okay, not from Monday open to the Monday closing. When I say rate of change, it compares with the previous day. It compares with the previous candle. Since we are operating on a daily time frame, I am comparing here, let's say Friday closing or last weekend closing. Weekend closing, you buy, and Monday closing, you just sell it. That way, the returns are mostly bearish. So remember here, we are not talking about the percentage, how many percentage are mostly Monday, how many Mondays are bullish, or that we are not talking about percentage of returns at all. But the amount of returns are totally getting negative most of the time. Most of the time, big falls are happening on Mondays. That is compensating, that is making the Monday's return, what are the generated returns, it is getting negative. Rest all the months, you can see that Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and in fact, Friday provides the maximum return most of the time. Most of the big returns happens on Fridays. And also here in case of Wednesday also, some serious returns are happening. So most of the big returns are, when it comes to NSE, most of the big returns are happening on Wednesday. Next to that, it is happening on Fridays. That's a significant information, right? So particularly if you're an option trader, you know that you have to be a bit cautious in carry forwarding. Your longs are Mondays. If you're carry forwarding, then you should consider carry forwarding a hedge. That's how it is. So this is one of the seasonal pattern which is there in US markets also. You just Google Monday effect, or you can also just simply Google day of the week effect. A lot of research paper you'll be able to download, and many markets people had tested. Somehow people are not able to explain this phenomena. Somehow investors are bearish on Mondays, right? So maybe most of the important events are happening on Mondays. So one have to how I can benefit out of that? Maybe if you're an option buyer, you can be a bit cautious about that. Maybe even if you're an option seller, it is not a good idea to carry forward any options on the weekends. Weekends, you know that the premium erodes. For an option buyer, that is the only thing. But for an option seller also, similar scenario over here. Monday is totally unpredictable because particularly most of the Mondays are big fall days. Most of the bad returns, worst returns happens on Mondays. That is the reason Monday is more negative than any other months. Then comes the next important topic, one of my favorite also, turn of the month effect. I got introduced to turn of the month effect from Mr. Kora Reddy, right? So probably he's quite popular in Twitter. You can also just Google. Let me show you. Go to Twitter. And I'll say like at the past stat. And so he is the one who introduced me to turn of the month. Otherwise, it's there, turn of the month. You just Google, it's just a Google away, turn of the month strategy. Right, so this is back in 2019. He had also posted the returns which it got generated. What he's saying, like you buy Nifty the last 4 days of the month, just last 4 days before the month. That is like for the current month. What is the date today? 28th. Maybe somebody, if they would have purchased on 26th of August, 26, 27, 30, 31. So we have 4 trading days. 4 trading days before the month is going to complete, we will buy. And then we will exit at the close of the first day of the next month. That means we will exit on 1st September. In that case, how I can quote the simple strategy? It's a very simple strategy. You can see that most of the time it is generating a positive returns. Since 2000 onwards, he had provided the results over here. So let me also do the same thing. I'll try to generate. I'm going to write a simple trading system for this. It's very easy to write also. Very easy to write and then prove that yes, this works. It also comes with a reasonable win rate. Approximately 70% is the win rate for this particular trading system. A very, very simple trading system. Monthly, once you're going to invoke this trading strategy. So let us say I'll go to the code. I'll open a new blank chart. I'm going to open a new blank formula. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to write the code here. So it's turn of the month strategy. In fact, Quora already does a lot of seasonal analytics. Now, what I'm doing is only a piece of cake. First of all, I need to identify whether the month has been started or not. So because that is where exactly I'm going to exit my positions. So I'll say like new month equals month. If it is not equal to reference of month, comma, -1. So I'm just checking whether it is a new month or not. A simple code. So month returns what? It returns the candles month. I'm comparing current bar candle monthly value compared to the previous bar's month value. If both are different, that means a new month has been started. So the output is either true or false. If the condition matches, if it is a new month, the new month will become true. If it is not a new month, that particular candle will hold the value of false. And I'm also saying like 4 days back, I'll say like month 4 days back, I'm just creating a simple variable. I'm gonna give some, I'm gonna look forward in time. So I'm gonna use something called reference of new month, comma 4. So this will gets the 4 days back before start of the new month. Okay. So this is only place we use forwarding information. Generally, I don't use forwarding information, but these kind of places, yes, it is a good idea to you go and use this. But if you are using any trading systems, it is not a good idea to use. If you are using, you should know why you are using this. Otherwise, generally we look backwards. Here, I'm just looking forwards. So here is the trading system. I will buy the symbol, particularly on the month 4 days back. When month 4 days back started, I'm going to buy the trading instrument. I'm going to sell exactly when the new month has been started. When the new month started, I'm going to sell it. I'm also going to set trade delay. Set trade delay 0, 0, 0, 0. That means I'm not going to give any delay at all. Then buy price, I'm going to buy at the opening of the day. When the bar, when Monday, 4 days back, when it is starting, what is the opening price? That is going to be my entry price. And sell price is particularly at the close of the first day. That means current closing, I'm going to do it on 1st of September is what I'm going to close my position. So close of the candle is what I'm going to sell. But when I'm buying, I'm going to buy at the opening of the month 4 days back before that day is open is what my entry point here is. Let's say I'm going to calculate in points, number of points, how many points Nifty had made. So I'm going to use something called set position size 1, SPS shares. So last week we talked about that. So here I'm going to buy only 1 share of Nifty. You know that is not possible, but just I want to measure in terms of number of points. So this is this position size to check what? How many points the trading system had made. Particularly how many Nifty points the trading system had made. I'll save this strategy as turn of the month strategy. So I'm going to save this under AMI seasonality, turn of the month effect. See, particularly, this is also widely known phenomena. If you go through the textbook style, what they say is like buy 2 days before the start of the month and 3 days before the start of the month and sell 2 days after the first month when the new month started. That's what the theoretical says, but it's slightly a different style, Corrality style here. Let me send it to analysis. Here also I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to check with current symbol from on 2 dates, right from 2000 to 2020-21 till to date. I'm going to run the back test. I'm not going to run the exploration. Previously I ran the exploration, so we got the average returns. But now I'm going to run the back test here. I click on back test. Okay, I should change it only to long only strategy because we are always going long only because we are looking for a positive returns mostly. And as of now, I'll keep the commissions as 0 because I want to exactly calculate how many number of points the strategy had made. And ensure that the futures mode is disabled. Daily time frame is what I'm applying. Equity doesn't matter. Okay. So I'll click on backtest. So now what we could see from here is, let's say, let me go back and get the returns. So you can see that it is generating slow and steady, consistent returns. Month on month, how many points it had made. That also I'll be able to see it from here. I can go and get it from the absolute profit table. As of now, it is in thousands. I want to do a small changes to the code so that I'll be able to grasp in number of points. Each and every month, how many number of points it had made. First of all, let's go and verify whether the date and time is true or not. 25th, it was buying, and exactly it is selling on 1st of February, it is selling. Again, 24th of February, it is buying, it is exiting on 1st of March. So 28th, it is buying, 28th of March, it is buying. Maybe first could be a holiday, so it is selling on 3rd of April, it is selling. So the code is working well. The code is working well, undoubtedly. Now, the best part here is, we know that win rate is also 66%. 66% of the time it works. 66% of the time it works. So you buy 4 days before the start of the month and exit on the first month closing. Month start closing. Or you can also do your own style. You can buy at the close of the, let's say I want to buy at the close of the fourth month back, and I want to sell on the new month closing. That is also a possibility. In that case, what one might get here is even slightly reduced returns, but win rate slightly increased. Only 68% win rate is what one will be getting. All right, almost similar profits. But then the profitability is more if you are actually using the opening of the month, because it generates approximately 8,793 points. So I'll keep it this way itself. I'm not going to change anything, right? So, but the only thing is, like, you will be getting a slightly lower win rate, 68.8%, 66.8%. Or maybe I'll say like, how to play this. Only thing that you need to know here is trying to short the markets, particularly around the last 5 days, that seasonal turn of the month days. It is not a good idea, right? So basically you should stay away from such kind of things, because most of the time winning rate is also against the thing, and most of the time markets are also quite bullish in those, particularly on those 4 to 5 trading sessions. Most of the time big investors are mostly pushing their money during when the new month is about to start. Then more and more investors are investing in the markets. One of the primary reasons which has been discovered that turn of the month is quite profitable. So I'm not talking about any of the calendar day. I'm not talking about any. I'm not talking about any expiry day. I'm talking about trading days. 4 trading days before the start of the month, we will buy it and we will sell it on the first trading day of the month start. Okay, so holidays are ignored, Saturdays, Sundays are ignored, except that only trading days are counted. I hope that clarifies. So no calendar days, only trading days are calculated. So that is one of the very interesting turn of the month effect strategy. Particularly if you're an option seller, you can consider selling at the money options. At the money options, you can go and sell. Maybe your win rate could be even much better. Right? If you're going and selling at the money, put options is what you can go and sell, particularly when so that one will be end up getting an reasonable returns. So sell and then hold it for 5 months. Absolutely no stop loss here. So that is how the strategy itself. There are cases it is also having a worst returns, also best returns. Also one of the worst returns is like 744 points. There was a loss also happened here. Remember, this happened back in February 2020. Couple of big losses also happened. Likewise, big profits also happened over here. Right? It is not like it. So there are places where it generated some 726 points returns also. But from the winning point of view, it had generated more more consistent return. The returns has been quite consistent, smooth, and that is what it is more important. You can see that the Sharpe ratio is 1.71%, and the CAR or MDD is not that impressive. That means it is slightly riskier, right? So, but then recovery factor is 4, which is good, definitely. Then the profit factor, which is 1.85, that is definitely a good. It's kind of a risk reward ratio. And payoff ratio is also decent, not that great, but it is decent. So what is so important here is the Sharpe ratio is very important over here, 1.71%. That means the returns are quite smooth in nature, slow and steady, consistent returns. Okay, so this is turn of the month strategy. You can also just Google about it. What you will be finding is you can go back and find a lot more research materials, more PDF that you can go and get it. So you can just search ResearchGate turn of the month. Okay, you will be finding a lot of publications, a lot of research material on those things. Many people had done that. There is also one more research material available called paper SSRN, right? So papers SSRN. Here also you can find turn of the month effect. So a lot of turn of the month effect has been presented over here. There are many calendar effects has been published. A lot of calendar effects has been published. Some of them is no more working. Something like sell in May and go away. Earlier it used to work. Now it is not at all working at all. Right? But then this turn of the month has been quite there, but mass public is not following yet. So, but it is a very simple approach. As long as the mass public is not following, it's well and good. One can go and use this approach. Even if you're an option buyer or an option seller, you can make use of this. Most likely, this benefits option sellers a lot compared to option buyers. Option buyers it benefits in only one way. Like at least you should avoid buying the put options, those zones, or maybe you have to focus more on the call side than on the put side. If in case only if your indicators are behaving more and more negative, only in that case it is good enough to go and short. Or if you are shorting this market, you have to be very, very cautious during those phases. So that's because win rates are mostly against the favor of against the traders, right? So that is one important thing. So then next one is one of my favorite seasonality months. Which month is more powerful? Which month generates more returns? Let's say September. September is going to start, right? So which stock in Nifty generates more seasonal returns during the month of September, where most of the months are profitable? Which kind of month exactly it is? So that is what, in order to understand that, first we need to go back and check the seasonality. Let me show you how you can derive the seasonality effect over here. It's very simple. Let us say I'll go to the AFL code. I'll go and bring on the blank module. I want to say like seasonal positive return monthly percentage. So I want to say like seasonal month equal to, I want to check if month is, or I'll say like filter. Rather, I'll say like filter equal to month equals, let's say 9. 9 means I'm just checking if the month is September. If the month is September, what I want to And check here is the returns for almost right from 2000 onwards till to date, September month returns only. I just want to get that. So I'll say add column. I'm gonna use something called add text column because I'm gonna apply it on stocks. I need to know the stock name. So I use some function called full name. So full name, using the full name, I'll be able to get the company name, right? So company name will be printed. I'll say like company name 1.2. Along with that, I'm also get the returns, monthly returns, right? So if it is a monthly return, I have to apply on the monthly time frame. So monthly time frame, I'm gonna calculate the returns ROC of close, 1. So in daily also, I'm using ROC of close, 1. Monthly also, I'm using ROC of close, 1. How it is possible, you might ask. So when I am scanning there, I'm scanning on a daily time frame, the previous code. Right now, when I'm going to scan only on the monthly time frame. I'm going to change it to monthly bars. So that's like monthly returns. Monthly returns, 1.2. It's a very simple code. The code is not done yet. But this is the initial phase. Like I'm just simply checking each and every monthly returns. I'm going to check. So I'm going to shift the database. I'm going to change the database to Metastock EOD NSE. Okay, I'll send it to analysis. Here's a simple analysis. I'm going to, let's say something like Reliance. Reliance, I'll go and run the exploration. So before running the exploration, I have to change the time frame to monthly, periodicity to monthly, so that whenever the returns are calculated, it will be calculating the monthly returns. So I click on explore. Now you can see that the monthly returns has been calculated since 2000 onwards. 2000 onwards till 2020, the returns are calculated, and it is calculated only for the September month. Maybe we can do one thing. Maybe if the monthly returns are positive, we can give a color. So let's say I can give a color to that. Let's say like the color equal to, if return is greater than or equal to 0, then I want color green. Else I want color red. Else color red. Okay. So likewise, I'm gonna give some color coding over here. Foreground color, I'm gonna make it like white, color white. And background color, I'm gonna make it like dynamic with color green and color red. So that I'll be able to understand if I explore. It's supposed to be IAF. Explore, I'll be able to see exactly where the negative months are. Now you can see that during the September month, Reliance generated negative returns only in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years. Out of 21 months, only 5 months Reliance had generated negative returns. So kind of seasonality. So if I try to calculate in percentage, calculating in percentage is very easy, right? So what I'll be getting here is like 5 months is what the negative return has been generated. Or we can say like a positive returns has been generated. Out of 20, how many months we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, almost 20, 21. Out of 21 months, total 21 months is there. So you can see the total rows are 21. Out of 21 months, how many months are positive? Approximately 16 months are positive. Into 100, how much exactly it is? It is 16 divided by 21 star 100. 76.19% of the time, right? So Reliance had generated positive returns. We don't know what could be the reason behind that, but Reliance had generated most of the returns. But is there any way where I can figure out the list of the percentage of returns for all the stocks, all the Nifty stocks? I want to figure it out. maybe based on that, I want to decide which month, which for the coming September month, maybe which company I should go and invest. Or maybe if November month is happening, which month I should go and invest. For October month, which company I should go and invest. So that is the coding I'm going to do here. Very simple. I'm going to extend the same coding only. So this is like positive returns. Okay. This is like monthly returns. Monthly returns percentage is what this code is all about. I'll save this code first of all. I'll save it inside AMI seasonality. Returns percentage. So this is for checking only the monthly returns only, but I don't want the monthly return percentage. I want to know what is the, or which stock is having the most returns. So whether it is an, I want to have it in a ranking format. So what I'll do, I'll go and create a new module. I'm going to say like seasonal monthly return percentage or monthly positive return percentage. I'm not concerned about every return. I'm concerned only about the positive return percentage only. And here I'm just putting a variable called seasonal month. Seasonal month, which month you are looking for actually. So I'm going to say like month equals 9. That means I'm just looking for a September month. If the month is September, then I want to calculate the returns. How many month? If that particular month is positive, then I want to count the values. So I'm going to say like that particular month, I'm going to give a value as 1. If that month, any September month is getting positive. So I'm just finding a value, say like returns, okay, returns. Or maybe I can say like monthly returns, MONRET, monthly return. Monthly, better we can use the complete word itself. Monthly returns in percentage terms is what we're gonna, we're gonna say it is 1 or 0. 1 means that particular month is having a positive returns. So I'm gonna say if the seasonal month is true, that means if the month is September, then, and at the same time, I'm also going to check if the rate of change of the month, so ROC of the month, ROC of close comma 1, right? So that means what I'm going to apply this particular code only on the monthly time frame only. I'm just going to check if it is greater than or equal to 0. That means I'm just checking if that month is September. At the same time, is it generating any positive returns on that month on a closing basis? So in that case, I will say 1, else if the values, if the condition is, if this condition, here I'm writing a condition. When this condition is true, I'm just putting a value as 1. Else I'm just putting a value as 0. Okay. And I'm storing under the value of monthly returns. Now what will happen? Let's say the candles are there. Let's say this candle corresponds to September 2020. If that particular month return is true, then 1 will be printed over next to that. Let's say September 2019, where the monthly return, if it is negative, if it is a negative bar. Then it contains a value 0. Okay, for each and every September, it will be having a value next to that. Each and every, that particular monthly bar will hold a value of 1, and that value will be stored under the variable monthly returns. Each and every September month. Okay. Imagine we have 21 Septembers till to date. Out of 21 Septembers, wherever there is a positive value, it will add 1 to that. Now, if I want to count the total number of monthly returns, it is very easy. I'm going to say like total positive returns, which is nothing but I'm going to use a simple function called CUM, cumulative function of monthly return. This will keep on count the values. Whenever there is a 1 is there, it will add up the one value. So end value, I'll be getting how many months are positive. The final value which contains how many months are positive values. So this is what this is. I'll also give a comment also so that you can understand what each and every code is doing. The first line of code, it is checking a condition to check whether September month or not. If it's September month, it returns true. So returns true if condition matches. Else it returns false value. Okay, that is what the line number 1 had done. Then the second one, it calculates the September. I mean, it's not calculating anything. It looks for September month. That is what the seasonal month is doing. And also September month only with positive returns. In that case, it returns the value 1. Else, if the condition is not matching, then it returns 0. Okay, that is what that particular line does. Followed by that, we are calculating the total positive September month. Using the cumulative function, we are doing that. I also want to know the total number of month also. So total months, how I can get total September months. I also want to get the total September month. In that particular chart, how I can get it? Very easy. I'll say like total months. This is actually not monthly returns. We can say like maybe we can give a different name. Say like positive returns. Okay. Likewise, total months. Total month is like only the seasonal month. If I want to put, if the month is September, then it will say 1, else it will say 0. So if there are 21 Septembers are there, each and every September month will have the value of 1. By that way, I'll get total months. Maybe I'll say like months here, and then total months is nothing but again cumulative value of months, so that I'll be able to get the total months. Finally, I'll be able to get the total September month. Here, this function, what it will do, this line of code will looks for September month and returns value 1. Looks for September month, then assign 1 as a value to that month, to that monthly candle. That value will be stored under the variable months. Else, if it's some other month, then it will return 0. Okay. So total month we had calculated. Now what I need is I want to filter for September month. If the month is September, or I'm going to say like month equal 9. That means I'm just checking what? If the month is September, so filter stocks having only September months. So this will filter stocks only during the September month only. Only during that period only, we're going to calculate the seasonality. So seasonality is very simple. Seasonality, nothing but total positive returns or total positive return months. Return months. Okay, lengthy one. That's fine. Divided by total month, total September month, star 100. So maybe star 100, I can keep it above star 100. Okay. This will get me the seasonality returns. It will get me the seasonal monthly positive return percentage. Out of 100%, how many percentage of months of September are profitable? So that is what I'm going to add the column also. I'm going to get the add text column. I'm going to get the company name because I'm going to scan for almost 50 companies. I'm going to scan. And then I'm going to add the column. So add column like seasonality. If you double click on seasonality, you'll get to know that. So it's getting selected. That means the text value is more or less same. Variable is same. Sometimes you might end up getting seasonality, some different word. We might miss an S. So if you click on that, if it is not getting selected, then there's an issue is there. So you can check. If I double click, wherever there is a seasonality word is there, it will highlight. Or something like seasonal months. Wherever there is a seasonal month is there, all those seasonal months will get highlighted. That way we can identify that, yes, that variable is already used somewhere else. So I'm going to say like a positive return month percentage, 1.2. So Venkatesh Korpal is asking, does the code takes the opening price of first day of the month, that is 1st September, and close say 30th September? No, the code takes, when we are talking about returns, right, monthly return, from the previous month closing to the current month closing is what, close to close is what we are calculating the returns. Generally candlestick, how we calculate the returns, close to close, right? Not to the opening to the close. Opening to the close, if I want to apply such kind of return, then the formula changes a little bit. Here, close to close means month closing, I will buy and I will close the position at the close of the current month. Always remember, we are working on a candlestick level. When I am looking at a candlestick level, where I'm not defining any returns on opening or opening to close, I'm not calculating those kind of things. It is always close to close basis only. Here, the returns are always calculated on close to close basis. In the previous example also, we worked on close to close basis only. The turn of the month effect or Monday effect, in every case, we had worked on close to close basis only as of now. Yes, if in case if you want to calculate measure the returns from opening to the close, opening of the month to the close of the month, in that case, we have to adopt a formula here. We have to calculate the formula. We have to check what is the monthly open, what was the monthly close, and then we have to calculate the returns manually, and then we have to plot it. Right? So some more additional computation lines you have to add it, nothing much. So the code is built down here, and I'll save this code. I'll save this code as, I'll put it inside AMI seasonality. Here I'm going to make it like seasonal monthly returns percentage. You can also calculate the hourly returns also, which hour is more powerful. So those kind of study also you can do that, whether you have to buy in the morning or buy in the afternoon. That kind of hourly returns also you can generate for the day. But it's a similar technique that you can use it. Using this technique, you can apply on hourly levels or daily levels, right? So you can go and spread those values. The thing is, if you know how to code this information, You can build any kind of simple seasonality over here. Let us say I'll send this to analysis. There's a small error over here. The error is like, okay, it's not an error, it's just a warning. Warning is like sometimes the total month is getting 0. That's fine. That is for some bars, it is getting 0, which is fine. It's just a warning only. I can ignore it. Not a commendable warning as such. And then the seasonality, right? I want only the last value. So I don't want every value. I want only the last value. Let's say the last value. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to send it to analysis. Okay. So here it goes to the analysis. I'm going to apply to a filter where I'm having Nifty 50 symbols. So here you can see that I'm going to apply to Nifty 50 symbols. Maybe I'll go to a different. Keyword NSE data. So probably the filter here, I might be having a Nifty 50 symbol. I'm applying to all the Nifty 50 symbols over here. I'll press OK. And I click on filter I had selected. And maybe I just want to do from 2020 onwards. At last, I just want to calculate the recent dates only. I'll run the exploration. So it does what? It calculates the monthly returns. Up to date, it had generated. Right from the start of the series, it calculates and it gives you in terms of percentage terms. You can see that Reliance is the one which had generated 76.92%. That is the same thing we calculated in our calculator also, right? So using the calculator, we also calculated some time back, if you remember. Calculated that September month seasonality is like 76.92%. Maybe which stock is more powerful during the month of October? If I want to ask the similar question, I have to do only one thing here. So I'll do one thing. I'll check the seasonality month. I'll change the seasonality month to be like this so that I can change only one place. I change this to 10. If I put 10, I'll be able to get October month. September month, you can see that Reliance is having the top seasonality. Next to that, Maruti is having almost 72% of the months are profitable months during September. Maybe you know the reason why Maruti is so profitable, because the festival season is beginning. So the majority of the people, they go and buy auto companies. So maybe that could be the primary reason behind that. Next to that, let's say I'll go and do this the same thing for October month. If I'm going to select October month, let's see which stock comes into the picture. I'll just simply explore on all the top 50 companies, Nifty 50 companies. If in case if we don't want the ticker and time, right? We don't want the ticker and time. We want only the company name and the positive return percentage. What I can do here is I can set the option here. There's an option. There's a function called set option. Under the set option, there is a specific value. I can set this value as true, like function. I'll go to function F1. One of the value that I'm going to set over here is it's like no column. There's something called no column, no default columns. Right? So the default columns are always the column from ticker and date and time. I cannot understand ticker. I also don't want the date and time also. So I want only the final return percentage. So I'll say like set option no return column comma true. If I'm going to set like this, I'll save the code. And now if I try to run the exploration, now you can see that you'll get only the company name and the positive return percentage. It's pretty easier one. And from here you can go and sort it out. You can sort it, or you can also assign rank. So there is another column called add rank column. So using add rank column, you can go to function F1, you can assign rank to a particular column. Add rank, if you want to sort, you can also sort a particular column in a descending mode or in ascending mode. So here, if you want in an ascending mode, you can say like add rank column. Just simply put add rank column over here. Or you can also use set sort column -3 or something like that. So that will be sorting in a different manner. Let's say I'll add an add rank column. Let's see what happens. Add rank column. I'm just simply adding it. This will add a ranking column to that. We also need a sorting thing also, right? We also have to sort it. So if I want to sort it, I want to sort the column number 2 is what I want to sort. Save the code. So set sort columns, function F1. You see that I want to sort the by third column in the descending order. So -3 represents third column. I want to sort in the descending order. So here I want to add it in the descending order only. Second column, I want to sort it in a descending column. So I'll save the code. Oops, save the code here. Now if I run the exploration, you can see that by default it is getting sorted and it is also assigning rank to that. I can also assign rank. Right? And then we are having a positive return percentage. So which stock is having the highest positive return? Automatically it sorts. Maybe tomorrow I'll change it only the numbers over here. Change it to November month. November month, which month is more powerful? So let's say I'll go and simply click on explore. It explores, it automatically sort that particular column. It also gives me a ranking. Says like ranking is 1 for the Kotak Mahindra Bank, 83% of the time. It is profitable during the month of November. So the best part is it is Kotak Mahindra Bank is positive during the month of October also, and it is positive during the month of November also, with more than 83% of the time. 83% of the time, Kotak Bank had generated more returns during the October month and November month with a greater win rate. Win rate is like 83% kind of time. Right? So almost we have 21 instances. Out of 21 instances, 83% of the time, it had generated a positive return percentage. So that way you can go back and check the seasonality for any particular month. So can we get a copy of the AFL? Of course, yes, I'll be sharing all the AFLs inside the Febinar's application itself. You can go and download it. And as usual, the session is getting recorded. The recorded session will be available under the Febinar's platform itself. Right. So let me a small promo here. So we are doing a session called Quantzilla, kind of mentoring program. It's almost 75 plus hours of mentoring exclusively on Amibroker programming that we are conducting, where you will be learning to create systematic trading. We'll be analyzing various systems, trend following system, intraday trading systems. You'll be learning to create your own trading indicators. You'll be learning how to build your own customized scanners, alerts and dashboard, how to design your own alerts, how you can send alerts to smartphones, how you can send alerts to applications like Telegram or pop-up alert, sound alert, voice alert, right? And various alerts to the output, alerts to the log functions, periodically logging the alerts, and strategy backtesting. Single strategy backtesting, multiple strategy backtesting, multiple portfolio intraday backtesting, and then designing your own trading strategy according to your own trading style. Particularly how you can design a trading strategy if you are an option trader. Right? So we'll be using two tools I'm going to use. One is I'm going to use Amibroker. Another tool that I'm going to use is the Quantman as a tool. I'm going to use it. Quantman particularly for options backtesting. and how to optimize your own trading strategy. Last week, we discussed some bit of optimization, but then more enhanced approach towards optimization and more guidelines I'll be presenting in the session. Strategy evaluation, building a long short trading system, pair trading backtesting, options backtesting, intraday trading strategy. So all those things will be covered in the Quanzilla basic. Right. So along with that, if anybody who want to learn automated trading, we are conducting a special session for those who exclusively want to learn about automated trading. So where traders will be learning to build various modules, algo trading modules on trade management, position management, risk management, hedging, automated hedging, trade adjustments, order slicing, scalping the spreads, multi-leg strategy, and arbitrage trading strategies. So various techniques will be using under the Quanzilla Advanced. Side by side, we also discuss some of the quantitative trading strategies also. Right? That will be purely discussed in the Quanzilla Advanced part. So what I can guarantee you, I'm not guaranteeing you any returns, but I can guarantee you, like, you can build your own trading system on your own after attending the complete entire live coding mentorship program. Whatever the session that we're going to talk about is live coding mentorship program, where you can attend live and you can learn to code any kind of trading system, any trading systems or investing models. If you're an investor, you can learn about investing model. If you're a trader, you can learn more about building your own trading strategies. If you are having some ideas or thought process in your mind, and you can how to convert that idea into code. That's what the session talks about. Sessions will be conducted only in the evening hours, only from 6 o'clock to 9 p.m. every day, Monday to Friday. We'll be teaching those sessions. All right, so that's the promo here. I guess you have a fair idea about how to backtest a simple strategy like a turn of the month effect. What is the importance of the turn of the month effect, and how effectively one can go and use such kind of strategies, and what we can learn from the day of the week effect. So these are the two things we learned about that. And we also discussed about how to build a seasonal monthly return percentage and how we can clearly table it for that particular month, list of all the stocks, how we can build such a very simple logic, how we can build using Amibroker. And in fact, Amibroker has numerous capabilities. You can build anything simple thing or any complex thing, any simple strategies to complex strategies, one can easily formulate using Amibroker. All one have to do is one have to be an expert with an Amibroker AFL coding, and that's what Quanzilla it's all about, totally focused on. All right, all I can guarantee you is an institutional grade Amibroker learning. I've been using Amibroker for more than a decade now. I started using Amibroker since 2009 onwards, I guess. And since then, I've been sticking to Amibroker for quite a long time now. So in the entire journey, right, I've been trading since 2006 onwards, but then trading software I started using from 2007 onwards. 2007-8, I know Amibroker here and there, but when it comes to my live trading, I routinely started using only from 2009 onwards. I started coding in Amibroker only from 2009 onwards. Right. So post the subprime crisis, I started learning Amibroker AFL coding. It's quite similar to the MATLAB programming. So I had completed telecom engineer. I completed electronics and communications back in 2005. And then, so I figured out that Amibroker is quite easy to understand, easy to learn, even if somebody is a non-coder, right? So they can go and learn Amibroker pretty much easily with some focused, dedicated effort, right? Some effort is definitely required. With that minimal effort, one will be able to understand to code their own trading system. So if all they require is a bit of practice, how to create those trading systems. So that trading system learning curve is what Quanzilla offers to the traders. All right, great. So let me stop the session here. I hope you learned something new about seasonality. There are a lot of calendar anomalies are there. You just Google about calendar anomalies. Tons and tons of calendar anomalies are there. But among all those things, I very much more curious about this day of the week effort and turn of the month effort is what I'm just pretty much curious about that. Otherwise, there are holiday effect is there, and then seasonality effect is there, Fed announcement is there, Santa Claus rally is there. You just Google about it, you will get tons of ideas about seasonality. All right. So let me stop the session here, and I say thank you for coming by and attending and spending your valuable Saturday along with me. Thank you. Bye-bye.